Next problem.
Number 10, don't directly address the reader.
Now, this is kind of funny because we have been directly addressing you for the last 20 minutes or so.
Yes, we have.
But in a video or in a recording or in a speaking presentation, the rules are different than in writing.
Right.
So speaking directly to the reader is...
It's okay in some situations. However, in academic and formal writing, we want to avoid speaking directly to the reader. And by that, I mean we want to avoid using the word you.
That's right. So in formal writing and letters, no problem. Any kind of letter, it's almost always okay to use you in a letter. Spoken presentations, the language used in spoken presentations is a little more casual than in academic writing or professional writing. But in formal writing, it is strange or awkward to hear a writer speak directly to the reader in English. And this rule might be different in other languages, but in English it's awkward and strange.
And I would even go farther and say it's also a little bit strange to use the word I.
Now, you're getting ahead of the slideshow, Barney.
Oh, sorry about that. I was very enthusiastic about that.
You're getting ahead of the slideshow. But when we use you, if you visit, do you know, have you been to?
How could we fix this?
Speaking to the reader like that, no direct questions. Have you ever?
Right.
Was a comments opener for a lot of my students in years past. But rhetorical questions are fine. What is a rhetorical question, Barney?
A rhetorical question is a statement that's presented in the form of a question. So if we look at in item C here, who wants to pay more taxes? This is actually a statement, isn't it? What is the statement, Rob?
The statement is nobody wants to pay more taxes.
Right, but it's...
And a rhetorical question is a question where the answer is obvious, so you don't have to guess what the answer is.
Right.
Where an answer is not expected.
Right. Who doesn't like bibimbap? Would be a good rhetorical question alternative to, do you like bibimbap?
That's right. And that's a question that doesn't directly speak to the reader. And I always felt frustrated when writers wrote a question to me because when I'm reading their writing, they're not in the room with me, so I can't answer them.
No, you can't.
Have you seen Parasite? You're not here for me to answer.
Right.
I can't tell you whether I have.
So let's avoid that.
Yeah. The best way to deal with this is to rewrite the sentence. So instead of saying, you shouldn't talk directly to the reader,
you would instead say, one should not talk directly to their reader.
And the word one in this situation, it's a little stiff, a little over formal. So another way to do it is to change the subject of the sentence and instead say something like, addressing the reader is a bad idea, or it is not a good idea to address the reader.
Right.
So you can take out the you and put one instead, or rearrange the sentence and say something like, it's a bad idea, or people should not, instead of you should not.
Right.
Now, Barney.
I've been waiting for number 4 for a long time. Most academic writing also avoids using the first person, meaning I, we, our, or us. And I have to say, this is a personal pet peeve of mine. I see many students will refer to themselves in the first person a lot in writing essays, and to me it looks very unprofessional, it looks very informal. It's the sort of thing I might do if I was writing a letter, but in academic writing I find it very off-putting.
Yeah. The one kind of academic writing where it's okay to use I is in a personal opinion essay or a personal essay. Other than the specific essay called personal essay,
right,
where your professor will be clear that yes, you can use I in this, it's best to avoid you always and I almost always.
Right. So just a couple of a real quick example. I don't think students should have to study English. You would just take out I don't think. You would say students shouldn't have to study English. Yeah. The fact that it's your opinion is obvious because you are the writer.
That's right. Avoiding the first and second person makes writing sound more objective and unbiased. That's another reason why news writing is another place where the first and second person are almost never found.
Good point.
Go read a newspaper or listen to a news broadcast, and one thing you will notice is that the anchors almost never use I or you while reporting the news.
Very good point. So, if you found all of the you and I mistakes, the directly addressing the reader mistakes in the document, it will look like this.
Yeah, there were a lot.
Yeah, boy, that pen ran out of red ink, I would reckon.
This is an error that happens because someone doesn't know. That's actually a rule of formal writing that a lot of people seem not to know.
Right.